Mr. and Mrs. America and all ships at sea.
It's TWITS, and it's brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Little 3, little 2, little 1. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the inaugural 2014 edition of TWITS. Joining me once again from his palatial estate in Brownwood, Texas. 3 luxury sleds still in the driveway, I can only assume. Mr. Mike Paddock, how are you, sir?
Howdy, doing fine. Yeah, I got 3 luxury sleds and a foosball table in the garage now, so how you like that?
That's
nothing but the best.
That's clean living, Mike.
Nothing but the best.
That's high living in Texas. Here in the front yard, right in the corner, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Mike, we're back after basically a 1-year hiatus. Feels good to be back in the saddle, my man.
Yeah, pretty much 1 year away. Had to do a little schooling, so I'm smarter for it. You should see a lot of more intelligent things coming out of my mouth this year. Can't get any worse.
No. And I think the YouTube hits show that. Mike, I see you're rocking some TCU gear.
Yes, I did not get hit in the head and turn purple. I wore this for a reason, because the commish and one old Thad Palmer are coming down to the old Metroplex DFW area for a Minnesota Golden Gophers versus your TCU Horned Frogs this Saturday. So I figured this is the last time I'd be wearing the purple. Figured I'd flash it for the TWITS crew.
Yeah, so 3/10 of the league will be in the DFW area. So just so everyone knows, there may be a bit of a delay in the plus system this upcoming weekend, but I will be back in Minnesota by Monday afternoon and have everything up to date by the time the Monday night game kicks off. What is the Monday night game this week, Mr. Paddock?
Oh, let's see. We got oh, that's right. It's Eagles, Indianapolis.
Eagles, Colts. All right. So we'll have everything updated by then. All right, Mike. Well, let's get right back into this thing. You know, we're back in the saddle, so it's like we're riding a bike here, I hope. Let's get to the little segment we like to call News and Notes. And right off the bat, Mike, let's talk about the confidence pool. Had some fairly significant changes to that, Mike. We added a couple segments, and just to make sure everyone's on the same page, we just kind of wanted to go over the changes. So we added an NFL confidence section, Mike, where you pick 2 teams you think are going to win that week. There's lines provided on the site, but basically it's just a straight-up pick. And then once you pick those teams, you can no longer pick them for the rest of the year. Interesting thing to note there, Mike, is that you know, we play a 17-week season. 17 times 2 is 34, but there's only 32 teams, so 2 weeks throughout the year, you only need to pick 1. So some strategy probably involved there. You know, probably as we get to the second half of the season, if you get a rough week, you might just pick 1 team. You can do that twice, and you'll still be on pace to maximize your point total. And then, Mike, we've got the Fantasy 3-pack, which is a randomly selected category at the beginning of the week. It'll list 5 players who are ranked, you know, 5 consecutive players in the ranking. So it might be tight end number 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 for a given week, or tight end 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Randomly select that, and you pick based upon the category that's presented. You think you pick the player or a team position that you think is going to have the best week. So after week 1, Mike, what do you think? I'm liking it.
Yeah, I like it. I also like the fact that you took the goose egg on the regular confidence pool because people were confused about the other ones. You didn't want to jump too far ahead.
So that's how we're gonna play this, eh, Mikey? That's how we're gonna play it.
Took one for the team. Nice work. I like it.
The commish takes the collar just so we can have some sort of fodder to talk about here on the program. Yeah, that was fairly impressive. I'm thinking of adding adding in some bonus points in the future for shooting the moon in reverse, or maybe not in reverse. I don't know. So we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, bad week for me on that. But did score a few points in the other two categories. So thankfully I added those. So that's the confidence pool. And then Mike, I just want to show everyone real quick a feature that I'm not sure everyone knows about or is using. But this image that Mike's putting up right now is the Yahoo Roster Advisor. And basically what I do is I download the weekly projections from Yahoo, convert them to our scoring system, and then it will give you a look at what your point totals are, and then it'll actually tell you, Mike, who you might want to substitute in on your roster. You'll notice some of the yellow icons down there. The yellow icons at the bottom mean say you might want to consider moving that player up based upon the projections. And then the red icons on the top indicate who has the advantage at a given position. So it's kind of like SFFL option light, if you will. So that's available just by clicking basically the Yahoo logo right underneath the area where you set your lineups. All right, Mike, let's keep this bad boy moving. New segment here we're going to do this year called What's in a Number, Mike? And these are just a few interesting facts that I stumbled across for week 1 in the NFL, Mike. First number, do you have any idea what that number is, Mike? Use your Carnac powers.
Yeah, 75.
75, that's correct, Mike. Two teams had a 75-yard touchdown pass in the first game. That was the first time that happened, Mike, since 1971. Dallas versus Buffalo on September 19th of 71. We're, of course, referring to the A.J. Green kind of deflected 77-yard touchdown pass, and then the Steve Smith 80-yard touchdown pass. So a little bit of history there. Mike, any idea what number 2 is?
I'm thinking Steve Grogan, number 14.
Yeah, 14, correct. Mike, Oakland lost its 14th consecutive game in the Eastern Time Zone. Yeah, it's not good for them. And its next 2 road games, Mike, you know who those are against?
I would assume back on the East Coast.
That's correct, Mike. New England and Cleveland.
Jeez.
So, chance for 16 in a row for the men in silver and black. And then, Mike, tribute to Brett Favre here. Number 4. New England is alone in 4th place, Mike, in the AFC East for the first time since Tom Brady has been their quarterback. So, a bit of history there, too. So they got some digging out to do this week at TCF Bank Stadium against the Vikings.
Nice.
Yes. So let's move on, Mike, to the Weekly Rewind. And the Weekly Rewind is presented, Mike, tonight by a tasty, like really kind of different brew. It's Jacked Up Autumn Ale by the boys at 3rd Street. Definitely got a hint of pumpkin, a little hint of cinnamon in there, but it's not I certainly wouldn't call it a pumpkin beer. In fact, they say that on the label. But definitely hearty for this time of year. And Mike, up in the northern tier here, we're sitting at probably at about 50 degrees and windy and rainy, so it's definitely autumn time.
Yeah, I like
let's look
3rd
at the,
Street. I like 3rd Street. They're out of Cold Spring, and they do some good stuff.
Yeah, I've had their the other one that I can for sure remember is the Lost Trout Brown Ale, which is pretty good. All right, so Weekly Rewind, Mike. The aforementioned Mike took on Bill and paced by 15 points out of surprise start Mark Ingram. Mike wins 56-50 over Bill. In the Week 1 shootout, Evan, with his 23 points from Julius Thomas, takes a 79-68 victory over Mr. Hodgson. The commish, paced by Matthew Stafford's 19, shoots down Tim 49-37. Mickey doubles up Tom, 55-27 behind Andrew Luck's 19 points. And Wayne, led by the Thursday night demolition of the Packers, gets 17 out of Marshawn Lynch in a 61-43 victory over Thad. And Mike, that's week 1. Why don't you tell us what's on tap for week number 2?
On tap, brought to you by a little local brew down here, Austin Beer Works, the Black Thunder, which is a German-style Schwartz beer. Very tasty. They do a hell of a job and everything.
Schwarzwälder Kirschtorte, Black Thunder. That was my college nickname.
Probably your roommates, but you took it well.
Yeah, Daryl Thompson was in the door.
There you go. Week 2 on tap, we have Evan, the Minnesota Vikings, who is 1-0 with 79 points. Yes?
I think it's the Chilean Miners.
You got to change it back then, because he decided to update.
All right. Yep.
Versus Mickey Crazy Mom, who's also 1-0, only scoring 55 last week, and the all-time points in that series is led by Mickey at 1374 to 1185 for Ev. And as you would guess, Mickey leads that all-time series 25-11, winning the last 3. Bill, who started out 0-1 with 50 points, barely eked out a win against him, is going against you, Jeff. Todd. Who is sitting at 1-0 with only 49 points. So a little bit of a grudge match here for Bill. He's not going to be too happy about that. Oh, plus that's Dorothy Mantooth. I love that woman. All-time points do go to Bill at 301 to 227. Yeah, she's a saint. Bill leads that all-time series 3-1 as well, and won 3 of the last 4.
By definition, he has. And I need to get my butt going in that matchup there. Yeah, it's he's handled me. Well, he's averaging about 75 points. If I'm doing the math right, and I was told there'd be no math, he's averaging about 75 points against me. So, I got some work to do.
Yes, that's turning into your nemesis right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tom Brixton Sky back in the fold, starting out 0-1, a little slow with only 27 points, going against Wayne Bago at 1-0 with 61 points. Wayne does lead that series 1163 to 1136. And 17-13 in the win column. So Tom's got a little catching up to do there. Oh, and
it looks like Wayne has won I was just going to say Wayne's won 9 of the last 12, too.
Oh, yeah, he's rolling. And then the aforementioned Thad, the Brick Walls, who's going to be down here. We're going to be duking it out on Sunday, watching the old Sunday Monday somewhere. He came in with 43 points last week and took a loss. And me and my 1-0 start at 56 points. I do lead the points in that one 969 to 900 and the series 14-6, winning 10 of the last 12 matchups. Could be a long day for the young Thad.
I tell you, I did not realize that you two jackasses were playing one another, so now I'm going to have to probably break up a couple of mild skirmishes at BW3 just north of Dallas-Fort Worth.
Yeah, don't sit them next to me. Whatever you do, don't sit them next to me. Tim,
yeah, we'll have to get kind of bar tables with a little distance between or something.
See, Tim Cranky Pants, and he's cranky for a reason, Jeff. He went, he lost his matchup last week, only scoring 37 points, and he's going up against the old powerhouse Greg, who even though he got 68 points, is still 0-1. So Tim does lead that all-time series by 14 games, 1178 to 1164. But Greg leads the series 17-16, winning 8 of 10 to get to that point. And
Woo!
That is what's on tap.
Excellent, Mike. Let's move quickly on to record setters. Not a ton to talk about here this week, but we will mention that Evan set the all-time tight end points record with 23 out of Julius Thomas, and the all owners combined for 67 tight end points. Obviously helped a ton there by Evan, who basically chipped in about half, well, about a third of that anyway. 67 total tight end points in the SFFL, good enough for 5th all time. That's it for a fairly quiet week on the record front. Let's move into everyone's favorite segment here, Mike. A little segment we like to call Chalk Talk. This week, Mike, obviously we're both starting out 0-0, and we'll have to maybe come up with a bet somewhere along the line here, a little six-pack or something by the end of the year for Chalk versus Dog. But this week, the Chalk is going right on the board, a little team I like to call Seattle, Mike. Seattle impressive in the victory, obviously, week 1 over the Packers. They are laying 6 points against San Diego on the road. San Diego struggled a little bit against at least offensively, against a Arizona squad that's pretty banged up on defense. So it's tough for me to take or not take Seattle when they're given anything less than a touchdown. I don't care where they're playing. So I'm going to take the Seabags to beat San Diego by double digits and cover that 6 points, Mikey.
Yeah, I'm going to take a second mortgage on a house, put on that one. That sounds pretty good.
Let's move on then to Dog of the Week, Mike. Your favorite segment for sure.
See, Dog of the Week this week, I am jumping on that Jacksonville Jaguar bandwagon. They are getting 6 points at the team we shall not mention out of Washington, the Redskins. Oops, I just mentioned them. The Redskins look like crap. I think it's going to take them a little bit of time to get their act together. And Jacksonville is one of those teams where you don't want to get them early before they know they're bad. So take Jacksonville and the points.
And how many is Jacksonville getting this week?
6. Yep.
All right. So
2 6-point games we're looking at.
Yep. Chalk laying 6 and Dog getting 6. So Mikey, we got that segues nicely into game of the week, Mike. Here, this week we got a matchup, I believe, of interconference foes. The Atlanta Falcons taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Who do you like in that one?
Well, Jeff, the Atlanta Falcons last year pulled out a win at home against the Saints. That was on a fast track against a suspect defense. I like Cincinnati's defense slow down Atlanta when they get outside. I'll go with Cincinnati in this one.
Mike, I'm going to have to go ahead and agree with you. I picked Cincinnati to beat Baltimore last week on the road, and they took care of business there. And I think in Atlanta, their offensive line has improved a great deal, but I think Cincinnati will still have the edge on defense. And Atlanta's defense, for its minor improvement, I think they're going to have a tough time with the 2 Cincinnati backs and the receiving core. So I think it'll be pretty tight, but I will also take Cincinnati in the game of the week.
Nice.
All right, Mike. Well, that was fairly lengthy TWITS, but for anyone who actually watches this, we appreciate you staying with us to the end. So we're looking at having a rotating new segment each week. So next week, please tune back in. We'll have a new segment for you. And then, we'll be back on the air for, I guess, after the week 3 games. Mikey?
See?
All right. Until then, everyone, have a great fantasy weekend, and we'll talk to you then. Adios.
Adios.